As CEO, how do you decide what time horizon to focus on in your work?
I think a lot of that is driven by our goals for a certain phase of the impact we're trying to have. So our vision is one day all teens have the knowledge and skills they need to make healthy decisions. And that is a very aspirational goal. And yet we try to break that down for periods of time into like the exact impact we want to have over a set period of time to get closer to that day. And so I try to align the way I think about our goals and my horizon with the phase we're in, and then start thinking about the next one before we finish. So actually right now is a great example of that, because we're 2.5 years into our current strategic plan, very focused on deepening impact on every teen we serve, evaluating it more robustly, and developing and testing additional methods for impact, serving every year more teens, but really focused in our growth on figuring out what it takes to have an impact on teen health behavior. That plan goes through 2015, and we are mostly on track to be able to achieve what we hope to by the end of it, and really answer that question and hopefully know more of what it takes to have an impact on teen health behavior. At the same time, we're already starting to think about 2015 and beyond, and I think that switch in time horizon is really important, because especially given my focus and discipline instinct, I could easily get very heads down and sort of complete and execute against the plan we envisioned for the next 2 years. Yeah. And that might be the right choice. But I think as a leader, what I've tried to do is build in more of this kind of entrepreneurial, creative practice, in part because of great people around me here who do that anyway, right, but also in my own head, so that we're ready for, and I'm ready for us to take on a different direction sooner, or to take on new work that isn't mapping exactly to that plan. And so one example of this is we're currently, our work in the first 2 priorities of the plan is almost entirely about our teens that we serve, the 20,000 that get Peer Health Exchange, and what really will it take for them to have an impact on their health behavior. And very little of our work is about anything outside of those 20,000 teens we serve, just because we're trying to actually figure out how to get that right. However, in the next year, as we had anticipated we would do in the plan, we're going to test additional methods for impact beyond the core model. So thinking about how we could serve teens through other channels, other organizations, advocacy, policy, all kinds of different potential ways to go. And I think those choices are going to be really critical in shifting the horizon, because depending on what we learn from that, what we learn from this, that will shape the next phase of how much are we doing ourselves versus through others. And what is it? What does it look like? And I think for me, it's been important I can get very focused on the horizon of a very set period of time. And I'm, I think, pretty good at creating a plan. Mm-hmm. But I think the place where I've had to shift the most in my sense of horizon is in just being much more open to the possibility that it could all change tomorrow. Yeah. And hopefully it's not going to be that dramatic, because I think it's hard to make an organization do that every day. But I do actually think that would be really exciting if we got to a place where we were seeing sort of the next phase before we're even there. And I hope that I'm in a role and in a position just with my own leadership to be able to call that. And hopefully, because of the great people around me, I wouldn't actually be the one to see it, but I'd be hearing that or seeing that from someone else and just ready to act on it.